We'll go to confirmation of the minutes, item 8, item 8.1. Council and committee meeting minutes of March the 1st, 2022. Recommendation that the council and committee meeting minutes including all committee recommendations for March the 1st, 2022 are approved as presented. Could I have a mover, please? To David Schulis, seconded by Mark Wilmer. And all in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Is there any business arising from the minutes? I see none. Oh, to you, Eric, Ernie, yes? You're muted, Ernie. Yeah. Can't hear you. You're muted. There we
go. Is that better?
Yes. A lot. Yeah.
Yeah, there was there was a mention here that the deputy clerk was checking to see if we could have the situation meetings from the chamber for those that wanted to go in, and there was an issue with the computers interfering, and I believe that she was looking into that. I'm just wondering, is there anything been received on that information?
Gwen can speak to that.
I did get a quote for some new equipment so that we are able to Zoom meetings from council chambers. And so I've got one quote, but because of the cost of it, and our RFP process, we'll have to go out and get another quote from another company if we can get somebody to come to Barry's Bay to do that. Also, we're looking at the desk because I think there was a concern about being too close together. So we're also going to address the council chamber desk to see if we can extend it. Yes, Ernie?
Yes, so my follow-up question, are we any closer to having meetings in chamber? Because that would be the other alternative if we don't want to spend the money.
Well, if we're going to continue to Zoom, not to Zoom meetings, but to live stream them, we'll have to look at some of the technology in council chambers to be able to do that. And from what I gathered, there was no hurry for council to be heading back into council chambers from the last meeting. I know things have opened up a little bit since then with no masks, because I think that was a concern, was running a meeting with a mask on, and now that masks won't be mandated after March 21st. I'm open to whatever council has decided to do. But currently what I was looking at was a hybrid model so that people could choose to Zoom from home or come into council chambers.
Okay, thank you.
You, Sue?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, if you recall, Ernie, some of the funding that the treasurer was able to get was for some of that equipment as well. So that's where we're at right now. So Gwen is trying to get a second quote. It came in higher than what we thought.
Right.
So,
okay, thank you. Because of the frequent disruptions in working from home, it's been a real challenge. And as we're getting into the budget time now, I'm looking at, well, am I going to go and spend the day in the township office as opposed to here, because a lot of the issue I've been having as well. So thank you.
You just let us know if some of those meetings you preferred because of conflict at home, if you preferred to come and Zoom from here, just let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Moving right along, municipal reports. I have item number 10, and I wonder if Corwin is available to talk to this. I don't know. Nope, here he comes. Hey, Corey.
How you doing?
Yeah, you have a report here, vehicle for fire and protection, and I'd wonder if you could speak to your report, if that's all right.
Okay, we're trying to get a vehicle for fire protection. It'll be for bylaw, fire protection, emergency management, and also it's a short-term fix for the building department with us also because we're short of vehicles. We back in 2006, we had a half ton. We said try for 6 months to get a vehicle, but over the last few years, it sort of disappeared back to the public works. So say we short vehicles to respond to emergencies and other complaints. There's a vehicle in South Algonquin Township they purchased last year. It's an extra truck, I think, possibly. So it'd be a good deal to get that truck. It's already equipped with all the emergency equipment. It's got a pull-out shelf, got a cap, so we use it for animal control. So we have a secured vehicle for something like that. So we're just looking at council to see if they possibly approve that for the budget meeting, so we can let South Algonquin see if we're interested or not. The truck was down here last week to look at it. We looked it over. It looks like a fairly decent truck, brand new. So that's kind of what we're looking at the moment.
Now, what's the price on that truck again? 50,000 plus. Yeah, okay. Well, I wonder if anybody want to question it? Are you, Ernie? Yes. Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. My question is, Corey, where would the truck be located?
Truck will be left up here in the municipal office, Councilor Poplinski. Like I
Okay.
said, municipal employees be able to use it during the day, and in the evenings, if there'll be a set of keys at the fire hall, at both fire
Okay.
halls. So if somebody needs a four-wheel drive at night, the firefighters will be able to use it for either mutual aid calls, bush fire calls. You get a snowstorm somewhere like that, they'd be able to put their equipment in and roll with it. It would be nothing for me to take home. It'd be just like I said, for all the fire department to use, not just myself and any municipal employee across the board.
Yes, Ernie.
Yeah, if I may, just on that same subject, Corey, talking about the trucks being parked outside, and I see in the news, there's been a lot of reports of thefts of gas and the price of gas today. So it is something I'm sure you're aware of. And we do have to safeguard our vehicles for that. And I understand what's really bad about it is some of them, instead of siphoning the gas, they're actually punching holes in the gas tanks and with big pails and taking the gas. So it's something that it's happening other places, and it's probably going to happen here. So just a little word to the wise.
Yes, I've heard that also, Councilor Poplinski, of that happening. They're punching tanks underneath and stealing the gas that way now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Especially
that's
for emergency vehicles, that would be a terrible situation to show up at an emergency and have no gas in it. So,
Yes, Mark. It's you.
Just a couple of questions. This is a 2020. Why is South Algonquin getting rid of it? I mean, they just must have purchased it very recently.
What I understand from what I spoke to their chief up there, new chief, was they purchased 3 half-tons at the time. One for the chief just for himself, one is a bush truck, and then one is for the other station. They only require 2 half-tons, so that's what he figured, try to get some of the money back and probably purchase equipment that would be more useful for them as opposed to a half-ton. That's the reason behind it. I did speak to the chief, so that's what he explained to me. That guy asked the same question.
Okay, and my follow-up to that is, so what would this cost new?
The trucks I've priced out new so far in relation to that one is ranged from 70,000 to 90,000 with the same
Yeah.
equipment.
it
Two,
is.
all 3 different fire companies. So
Oh, this is really good then. It's only got 4,300 or 4,300 kilometers on it. So, no, that's super.
you know, it's brand new. It's in mint shape. Like it's well equipped.
Okay, thank you.
To you, Sue.
Yeah, I wanted to add that price includes just the lighting decals alone, because they did provide the additional equipment that was put on it, was almost $12,000, and that's included in that. Now, I think one of the advantages that was with this vehicle, Corey, you talked about the back. There's a walkout or something for.
Yes, CO plant. Yes, there's a full pull-out shelf on the back. It holds up to 2,000 pounds. So we had to putting fire pumps or any other kind of equipment. It pulls right out the full length of the tailgate, 5 feet. It would save a lot of risk of reaching for firefighters hurting their backs and pulling inside. Yeah, it pulls right out to the extent of the truck, so it's easy access for equipment and loading and unloading. So no, it's a big, it's well equipped. Even the site departments on the cap there has room to carry this hand tools, fire extinguisher, medical equipment. No, it's a well equipped truck. It's well done up when they did it.
Wow. So, Sue, would you like to read the resolution there, if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, through the chair, that council approved the chief fire official to advise South Algonquin Township that Madawaska Valley would like to proceed with the purchase of the F-150 Ford truck, and all costs associated with this purchase and transfer be drawn from reserve account 10404-799998.
And could I have a mover, please? And to you, Ernie, as a mover, seconded, Mark Wilmer. Any further discussion on this? None, I see none. Oh, to you, Sue?
I just wanted to add for clarification as well. So this would allow for the building department to have access right away to a vehicle, but there is in the budget what had been budgeted for the last 2 years for a vehicle for the building department. It's just with COVID and recognizing there might be issues with obtaining a vehicle right away. This will fill that gap in the interim, right, Corey? Is that the
That's
intent?
very correct. That's exactly it.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, any further discussion? I see none. All in favor then? Good move. That's carried. Thank you very much. Standing committees, we have none. And bylaws, we'll get into bylaws here, see if we can flip through them. The first bylaw is bylaw 2022-19 regarding the acceptance of request from proposal from Pinchin Limited with respect to environmental monitoring of the township of Madawaska Valley Waste Management Site's 5-year term, 2022-2027. Recommendation that the bylaw 2022-19 being a bylaw to accept a request for proposal from Pinchin Limited with respect to environmental monitoring of the township.
I can read that if you'd like.
Which may,
The Township of Madawaska Valley Waste Management Sites be given first and second reading this 15th day of March 2022.
also move and seconded. That's Dave Schulis. Any conversation on this? No? All in favor? And you want a third reading on this, please, if you wouldn't mind, Sue?
Yes, require a mover and a seconder that the bylaw 2022-19 be given third and final reading this 15th day of March 2022.
And moved by Poplinski, seconded by Wilmer. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Let's see if I can find a spot here.
The next bylaw through the chair is bylaw 2022-20, and it is site-specific zoning bylaw amendment of lot 13, registered plan 131 in part of lot 181 Range B South, geographic township of Sherwood Berries Bay from residential R1 to commercial exception 8, CE8, to residential to except 6, R2-E6. So you need a mover and a seconder.
Also moved, seconded by Mark Wilmer. And all in favor? And that's passed.
So that is being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2006-26 of the Township of Madawaska Valley as amended, that it be given first and second reading this 15th day of March 2022. I also require a mover. If you recall, we council at the planning meeting agreed to do a third reading. So I need a mover and a seconder.
Moved by Councilor Schulis, seconded by Councilor Wilmer. And all in favor? Oh, sorry.
That bylaw 2022-20 be given third and final reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Also moved, seconded by Mark Wilmer. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. Where are we here now? Bylaw 2022. Whoa.
So we have 2022-21, and that is the tree canopy policy G10. So you need a mover and a seconder that bylaw 2022-21 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2014-90 with respect to the addition of policy G10 tree canopy policy to the corporate policies and procedures for the corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley, be given first and second reading this 15th day of March 2022.
I'll move. Second. Councilor Schulis. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. To you.
That bylaw 2022-21 be given third and final reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Ernie Poplinski moved. Seconded. Mark Wilmer. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you.
Bylaw 2022-22 is authorizing entering into an agreement with a service agreement for Eastern Ontario 211. So you need a mover and a seconder that bylaw 2022-22 Being a bylaw to authorize the entering into and the execution of a service agreement between Community Navigation of Eastern Ontario 211, Eastern Region, and the Corporation of the Township of Madawaska Valley be given first and second reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Counselor Poplinski moved, Mark Wilmer seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? And that is carried.
That bylaw 2022-22 be given third and final reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Also moved, seconded by Counselor Schuler. All those in favor? And that is carried, Sue. Thank you.
Can I just interject, please?
Yes.
Both those, the first and second reading and third and final reading should read as amended because we had to change it with.
Oh, that is correct. Thanks for picking that up.
Okay, just because Mayor Love was absent, the signature on it was for the
There you
acting
go.
mayor.
Yeah.
Very
So
good catch. Thank you.
Good catch, Gwen.
The
Yeah.
next bylaw 2022-23, that bylaw 2022-23 being a bylaw to adopt an emergency management program, an emergency response plan, and to meet other requirements under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act be given first and second reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Moved by Mark Wilmer, seconded by Counselor Poplinski. Any discussion? All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. You, Sue?
Can
That
I
bylaw-
interject again? Sorry.
Yes.
The only reason that we had to redo this one was because we were adding Ontario 211 to the emergency plan. And also because we've adopted it now, we will not have to bring it back. It needs to be adopted once per year, but this will meet the requirements for the adoption for the year.
Right.
So,
Good.
okay.
Okay.
Checks 2 boxes. That's great. That bylaw 2022-23 be given third and final reading this 15th day of March 2022.
Mover. That's Ernie, and seconded by Mark Wilmer. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. 2022-24, Sue.
2022-24 is a shoreline road allowance closure and disposition along easterly shore of the Madawaska River, lying in front of Lot 11, Concession 3, designated as Part 6 and 7 on 49R 19986 in the geographic township of Radcliffe. It's the Taylor and Westwood TAY 2019-04 file number. So I need a mover and a seconder. That bylaw 2022-24 being a bylaw to provide for the closing and stopping up part of an original allowance for road along the easterly shore of the Madawaska River, lying in front of Lot 11, Concession 3, Radcliffe, now Township of Madawaska Valley, in the County of Renfrew, being part of PIN 57590-0253 LT, and for the sale thereof to the abutting landowner be given first, second reading this 15th day of March 2022.
And we have a mover. That's Mark Wilmer, seconded by Counselor Schulist. Any discussion on that? I don't see none. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. And we end our bylaws.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Chair.
You should be.
I just want to note a correction to the canopy bylaws. Sue referred to it as bylaw 22. It should have read 21 throughout.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good catch. You're not sleeping, Silas.
No,
Good for you. We have no public meeting and planning matters, correspondence, none. Correspondence, action items, any new business? Any unfinished business? We come to an in-camera portion of our meeting, so could you read this for me, please? Recommendation, if you wouldn't mind, Sue.
Yes, that the meeting enters in camera session at 1:45 p.m. to discuss matters pertaining to the security of the property of the municipality or local board, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. Ontario Municipal Act 2001 C25, Section 239(2) A, B, and C. To discuss council and committee meeting minutes in camera March 1, 2022, Mission House Museum, and HR updates.
And could I have a mover, please? Mark Wilmer, seconded by Council Propinski. All those in favor?